Hello family, my name is Chris, I am your home gamer dad, and welcome to Horrified, the Universal Monsters edition of the game. And I say that because as of the point of this video, there are five versions of Horrified currently released, and this is the first one in that line released back in 2019 from Ravensburger. And man, this really was the one that kicked it all off for me for sure. Now, I didn't start playing Horrified until the second one was just about ready to be released, because I'm like, well, if they released one and here comes the second one, then there's got to be something to this first one. And this is it is so much fun, especially, you know, going all the way back to the original version of this game. At its core, this is a 1 to, I want to say 5-player cooperative, yeah, it's right there, 1 to 5-player cooperative game where you take control of various heroes trying to defend the town that you're in. I believe this is Darkmoor. I don't think it's said anywhere in the instructions, but I was at Universal Epic not too long ago, so I'm going to call it Darkmoor. And you need to fight back against various monsters that have been let loose in the city. Why don't we go ahead and remove the box to take a better look at that. So right off the bat, you'll notice there's a lot of different spaces up here, each one with different names to them. That's going to be very important when we put out items. The other important thing, as I pull this down a little bit, is the Horrified track up here. This is pretty much the way that you lose the game. As your heroes take damage and pass out, or villagers, which are NPCs that kind of pop up in the map, become unalived from these various monsters, this little track will move over, and if it ever reaches over here, it's an immediate game over. Just before I even start anything else, a lot of the things that I'm using are supposed to be on standees. They're like the little plastic things that come with the game. You would just plug them in, stand them up, and that's kind of how it looks. But on camera, I don't like the way that is, and as would be expected, so for the purpose of this playthrough, they are just going to be laid flat like that. But when you're playing at home, give it that little bit of a 3D feel to it by putting them inside of these standees. The game has 3 difficulty levels to it. Easy, where you're only going against 2 monsters. Normal, which you're going to go 3, which is what we're doing now. Or 4 monsters at a difficult difficulty in order to try to save the town and all of its inhabitants as the monsters run amok. What I love about the Horrified games, and all of the versions of them, is that each one of the monsters that you fight in them are super unique. That you have to go through different steps and different things along the ways in order to be able to defeat them. But before we do that, we're going to go ahead and start with basic setup of the board right now, putting down our starting items, figuring out our starting heroes, and then grabbing our perk cards. So let's just start with this bag right here, which holds various items. Items come in 3 flavors in this version of Horrified: red, blue, and yellow. I believe their classifications are physical, intellectual, and spiritual. So as we start pulling these, they will have various, just like fun things, like a torch, physical items, this monocane mixture, you know, sciencey stuff, and then spiritual stuff like this crucifix. Every item not only has a color associated to it, they have a strength, which is the numbers up here, 4, 3, and 5. And then their basic name, their image, which is just, you know, fun stuff to look at. And then the location that you can find them at. So this torch is found at the barn. This, monocane mixture is found at the inn. And the crucifix is found at the church. Every one of these are located within the bag. That would be this right here. You got 60 different tokens in here. And for our first part of setup on the board, we're going to go ahead and draw 12 of these and put them on the board. Now, there will be other ways in which more items get out on the board, but I'll explain that when we get there. So let's just first get our initial 12. I'm just going to grab a handful right now and just kind of go from there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, man, I grabbed no more. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So this is what I have. Let me put this yellow one back, and then in a quick snap, all 12 items have appeared on the board at their set locations. So you have something in the camp, precinct, inn, barn, abbey, museum, 3 items in the laboratory, and 1 in the institute. So that is the first part of setup, is getting all of these down. There will be things that I'm going to be doing here as well, where I'm going to need to remove it to put something over a spot to put it back. But I'll get to that when we do the monster setup. Now let's talk about choosing our heroes. These are called player badges, and on the other side of all of these are the various heroes that you can play as. Each hero is unique in that they have their own special ability, a certain amount of actions that they can do, and then just kind of go from there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to shuffle these up right here, and we're going to put this into a pack of, or stacks of 3. So we'll just do 2, we'll take 3 and 2. So we have 3 stacks of various heroes right here. And I'm going to go ahead and take this dice. You're supposed to deal this out randomly to everybody, or you can pick for yourself. It's up to you, but I want to have fate kind of decide. So I'm going to roll these dice. These are the special dice that come with the game. They pretty much are what the monsters are going to use when they attack. You have 2 blank sides, 3 single hits, and then like an exclamation point that does like a special ability, which again, I'll talk about when we talk about the monsters. If I roll, I'm going to start here. If I roll a blank, I don't move. If I roll a hit, I move 1. If I roll an exclamation point, I move 2. So our first hero, so we start from here. Don't move for the blank. 1 for the hit. And then 1, 2. We're back in the beginning. Our first hero is, the Courier. 4 actions, special ability or special action. So using one of those actions, the Courier will be able to place your hero on a spot with any other hero. Starting location is the shop. So we'll get him up there. Starting from the same spot, let's keep going with this. We're moving 3, so it's 1, 2, 3. We're right back in the beginning. So now we have the Archaeologist. All right, so that's our second hero. 4 actions as well, special actions. Pick an item up from an adjacent space. Sweet. All right, that's going to be very helpful as well. And that'll all make sense as well once we start going on. So once again, we'll just start here. We'll give these a roll. Moving only 1, so these are actually out of the game. We're going to be taking that as our third and final character. These Scientists. 4 actions with the ability, you may add 1 strength to any item you use. That is amazing. And she starts in the institution. All right, so our Courier is going to start here at the shop. The Institute is where the Scientist is going to begin. It's actually really, really helpful. You have no idea. And then we have the docks up here for the Archaeologist coming on in after having another time exploring some far off area. Now that we have all of them, we would actually deal 1 perk card out to each character. And this is just going to be my hand of cards of sorts, because perk cards can be played at any time from any hero on the hero action or on the hero phase. So whatever it is I have at that time, I can just kind of play. So our first perk card is Taxi Ride. Place a hero in any non-water space. Very important for this board. Our second one is Late into the Night. The current player takes 2 additional actions, and we have our Scientist right there on the cover of that. And lastly, we have Hunter Becomes Prey. Place the Wolfman in any space or move any monster 3 spaces. That is actually really good, because now that we have finished setting up the board, we can talk about the monsters that I chose to go up against for this playthrough. The first thing you're going to want to know is, before I go into each one of them, is this little fire symbol in the left side. That is the Frenzy marker, the Frenzy token itself. And again, every one of these have standees to them. I'm just taking them off, including the heroes and everything, for sake of the camera. These guys are just going to have to walk around like that on the field, but you can kind of see who they are and where they are with their base. The Frenzy monster pretty much is going to get additional turns and actions during the monster phase. And then this will move down as either I draw cards or as I defeat monsters. So if I defeat the Mummy, then this will move down to the next lowest Frenzy monster. That's why he has a Frenzy, because he's number 2. Anyway, who are we playing against? First things first, we have over here High Priest Imhotep, the Mummy. The Mummy has risen. Decipher the tablet so you can return him to his tomb. Every monster on the back of their sheets, because you're never going to... I really, really highly doubt you'll ever play all... I guess you could play against all 6, but I can see that being extremely difficult. Let me know out there if any of you ever done that. But on the back of all the monsters are this very handy setup sheet that talks about where each one of the monsters are going to go. And I'm just going to kind of read it off to you as I go through. So the Mummy himself, we're going to first be placing the museum overlay on the main board, and the Mummy himself is going to start there as well. So if we go down here to the museum, which actually has an item on it, this is where I was talking about before, I'm just going to remove it, put the museum overlay here, and we're going to put that back on. Basically, this means that now the museum has a special action to it. So while I'm on it, I can use an action to spend one yellow item and move the scarabs. The scarabs will move as much as the item's strength. And as I said before, the mummy starts right here on that spot. Next thing we're going to want to do is we're going to go ahead and take all of these scarabs here and shuffle them around. Take the 1, 2, and 3 and move them over to the other side, and the 4, 5, and 6 and move them over here. So they're switching spots, but they're also getting shuffled around. So I just kind of zip them around like that, and we'll just kind of blip, blop, bloop, bleep, boop, but da, dee, da, doo, doo, dee, and flip them all face up. Every monster has 2 things you have to do with them. Advancing to the point where you can then defeat them. That is upside down. Sorry about that. So in order to advance the mummy, in order to be able to defeat them, at the museum, I spend the yellow, and then I can move these around 1 space equal to how strong that yellow item is. So if the yellow item's at 3, I can move these things 3 times. The goal is to get them back into the order of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Once that is done, I have to go to the same space as the mummy, and then I can use any number of red items, any number, as long as they equal 9 or more in order to defeat him. Once I do that, the mummy has been finished. Other things to know about the mummy is you have this right here. This is the soul sigil. This may come into play depending on what we draw from the monster deck, but make sure that is close at hand. And then finally, if you ever rolled the exclamation point for the dice, fortify the curse. Flip the lowest scarab face down. So that means boom, like that. And to flip it back up would be an action from a yellow item. So that is the mummy. This shouldn't be up here. This needs to start at the X, because the next one we have is the Gillman, creature from the Black Lagoon. The creature strikes from the depths. Locate his watery retreat so you can oust him. He's a medium class. I think Mummy is high, Creature is medium, and I think Wolfman is medium as well. What we're going to do with the creature from the Black Lagoon is we have another overlay. This is actually, I think I'm using all except for one overlay on this. The camp overlay, which is going to go over the camp itself. And of course, the creature is going to start in the lagoon. Back over here on the map. So we're going to go ahead and just move this up here, giving the camp that ability. Solve. Use a yellow, red, or blue to move the boat to the next X of that matching item color. And I'll show you that once we get back to his board. And the creature starts in the lagoon. There are 3 water spaces here within Darkmoor. And again, I'm just going to call it Darkmoor because that's what makes sense to me. The lagoon, the river, and the waterfront. The creature is the only one who can traverse the river. So he can actually go 1, 2, down this way where no other character, monster, or whatever can get into these spots. Only the creature can do this. So this cave is actually connected to the lagoon, so he could go like that in one fell swoop. Whereas other characters, say someone was in the mansion, they would have to take the long way around instead of going up the abbey that way. So that is an advantage the creature has. And just once again over here, find the hidden lair for the advance action. Our little boat is searching around the lagoon. It starts on the black X. You would use a color piece. Doesn't matter the strength, and you would just move it to the next one. So if I use the blue one, the boat would all the way up there to where it was. If I use another blue one, I would go here, but at least if I use a yellow, I would move further. So it's a matter of getting or using the colors in the right order to traverse this as fast as you can. Once the boat is on the lair, which is right here, in the creature space, I would use 1 yellow, 1 red, and 1 blue in order to defeat him. However, his special ability, rock the boat, move the boat 1 space backwards. Wherever it is, so say it's here on this yellow, I roll that, the boat would then go back to blue. Furthermore, if I'm on his lair and it rolls and goes back to red, I would need to go back to the camp, use a blue item in order to move it up in order to be able to hunt him again. So keep that in mind while you're trying to fight the creature from the Black Lagoon. And lastly, we have Talbot, Henry Talbot, Frank Talbot, I can't remember his first name, but he's part of a Talbot clan, and they have the curse of the Wolfman. The Wolfman is tormented by his form. Develop an antidote and administer it to him. The Wolfman's actually really interesting because what you're going to need to do is you're going to find, guess what, an overlay for the laboratory to assign that to there, and the Wolfman is going to start on the mansion. The mansion is way over here, and the laboratory is actually right in a great spot with 3 blues on it. This might not be so bad after all. Solving in the laboratory is you place a blue on a spot that matches the item's strength. If all spots are filled, take the cure. So the cure is right here, and the idea is to mix all of these different things together. So if I had a blue 1 right here, I could place it on top of this, and then that's 1/6 of the way I'm at in order to be able to develop the cure. The great thing about the scientist is that whenever she uses an item, she can increase its power by 1. So this 1 can be a 2 if I wanted it to be. 2s can be 3s, and it doesn't really matter otherwise from there. So that, oh man, it's so good that she started there with everything. That's, oddly enough, I had a practice game not too long ago, and she was in it, and it almost started the exact same way, which is great because the Wolfman is really tough. First thing you want to do is make sure he has this hunted sigil near him, or his hunted metal. Works the same way as the sigil once it's actually in play, but we'll see if it gets there depending on what we draw. And his special ability is Vicious Bite. Every person in the Wolfman space is hit. Normally, if you're in a spot with a monster, the hero takes the hit instead of villagers, but if there's like 3 villagers in a spot and you roll this, he hits everybody regardless, and there's no saving that. So he can decimate the fields really quickly. Probably a good idea to get rid of him as soon as possible. And that's it. That is the entire setup for the board using the monsters that I've chosen here, what we need to do to defeat them, where our heroes are, and our starting positions. Now then, let's rescue Darkmoor. In order to help you out, there are some great helper cards that the Horrified games have, and I will show each one of them as I play through the different versions. For right now, with the Universal Monsters, we have this right here. There are 2 phases to every player turn. The first is the hero phase, and then on the other side of the helper card shows you the monster phase. Once the monster phase is finished, it goes to the next player in order, and then restarting with the hero phase. On the hero phase, you have a set number of actions that is dictated by your character card. So in this situation, because I have the courier, he has 4 actions. The majority of characters have 4 actions. Some have 3 with a really powerful special ability. And then there is one character that has 5. No special abilities, but they are able to do 1 more extra action, which can be extremely helpful. What are your actions? Move. 1 action to move to an adjacent spot. Anything that's connected by the roads is a spot. Remember, you cannot go through the water area. Guide. If an NPC happens to be on the board, I can tell them to go to or from an adjacent space. So if she was over here, I could use the guide action to bring her to me, or if she was in my space, I could send her off into another adjacent space. Just getting her to where she needs to get to in order to be able to earn more perk cards. Pickup. In a spot with any number of items, I can use 1 action of pickup to pick up all or any number of items within that spot. If I'm in a space with another hero, I can use an action to share items between the heroes. And then the advance and defeat options are different depending on the monsters. I already went over those. And the special action will be what's noted on the badge. For this case, the courier can go into a spot with any hero on it. So, courier gets 4 actions. And I think I'm going to move him up here in order to start collecting some of these reds, because I want him to get over to that camp to start seeing if he can defeat the creature. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to 1, 2, 3, and I'll pick up these red items from the barn for 4. I'm going to put them over here, and that's going to be the representation of whatever he is currently holding. Now that we have finished that, we go to the monster phase. You do that by flipping over the top card here and following it, oh great, from top to bottom. The first thing you're going to see is how many items hit the field. So that'll be 2 items that go down from the bag. Next is the event from the card. The hunt is on. If no hero has the hunted emblem, give it to the current player. This career is being hunted. Move the Wolfman 3 spaces towards the hunted emblem. Then you see which characters move. In this case, it's the Gillman, Dracula, and the Frenzy Monster. They would each, in turn, from left to right, move 1 space and do a 2-dice attack if they happen to be in a space with any other heroes or villagers. Okay, first things first, always do top to bottom, pulling out, digging in there. All right, that's 2. So I got 2 right here. 1 is for the mansion, 2-thing telescope, and 2 flower go to the docks, which is fine by me. Next, we come over here and we grab our hunted emblem and we slap that onto the courier. Congratulations, you are now going to be hunted. Arrgh! So now the Wolfman is going to move 3 spaces towards him, and he's always going to move in the shortest path possible. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, that's what I thought. 1, 2, 3. So he is up there. As far as monsters go on the board, you are free to move into and out of their spaces. They will only attack if it's registered on the card. So right now, because there's no enemies no victims or whatever in that spot, he doesn't attack. The Galeman would then go next, trying to find the closest path between him and somebody else. And I'm pretty sure that's Courier, but he's only moving 1 space. So he's going to move 1 over here, getting out of there. And the Mummy can only move 1 space regardless because there's nothing else. So there we go. Everyone has moved. This is why I'm glad I got that 1 piece as soon as I did. So this way, maybe I can just move the Wolfman now. Archaeologist's turn. This is what I'm talking about with his special ability where he's able to pick up items from adjacent spaces. Meaning that if he was here and there was a ton of items in the dungeon, he could use an item to take them without actually needing to be in it. But what he's going to do is first action, take that. 3 more actions to go. I think that I'm going to go 1, 2, 3 and work my way down towards the museum. All right, so we can put this right here. Always a good idea in order to pick up items. You can have as many items as you want within your inventory. And the way that items work is besides using them in order to do different things, if a monster attacks you, you could spend an item, no matter what the strength is or whatever, in order to negate 1 hit per item. So the more items your characters have in their hands, the better defense they are against monsters fighting them. All right, monster phase. Oh, we got an NPC coming in, or a villager, or whatever it is. So 3 items are going to go down on the field, and we have the Insane Survivor. Place Redfield at the docks. I was just at the docks. Oh, man. Dracula would go, and the Frenzy Monster, which is the Mummy, moving 2 spaces, doing a 2-dice attack. All right, so Renfield's going to be right here at the docks. And if you notice at the top of him, it says the hospital. If I guide him to the hospital, I get a perk card. And of course, that is the best thing that you could possibly get because they will help out a lot. The hospital is right down here, is way down here. So it's like, I got to get him up and around and down, and I had already left that space, which is not good. However, the other thing is that the Mummy is going to go 1, 2, and he's going to attack our archaeologist. So we get 2 dice and we roll it on up, and he does 1 hit and a blank. I could take the hit. If I take the hit, all of our heroes have 1 health. Everything in this game has 1 health except for the monsters. I could take that 1 hit and basically go to the hospital. He's off the board for an entire turn, so he's not targeted or anything, but I get to keep my items. Or I can choose to spend this item and negate that hit, which I actually am going to do because I really don't want to do any loss of life right now. Because even if your heroes go down, that's when this Horrified gauge moves up. So if I had went down, this would have went to 1, and I would have been 1 closer to a full game over. I forgot to put items on the board. I do apologize about that. I talk about doing things from top to bottom, and here I am jumping the gun on stuff. All right, so I got 3 yellow items here. That's actually really good. The church, where's the church? Church, the inn, which is up here, and the mansion, which is right there. All right, very nice. Before moving on to the scientist's turn, there is one thing I do want to mention, is that in Horrified Dungeons and Dragons. I believe it was Horrified Dungeons and Dragons. It might have been introduced earlier, but there was a newer rule-ish of sorts that was introduced where once you defeat the monster or a monster, you can lower the Horrified gauge by 1. I am playing that right now because I think it makes sense. It's like, it's less scary within the town if one of these guys is no longer a threat. So, with that said, if I defeat them, then I would lower the horror gauge by 1. If it's already at the lowest thing, then it doesn't really matter. Anywho, it is our scientist's turn, and this is going to be fantastic. So action number 1, we're picking this up. Action number 2, we're going in here. Action number 3, we're taking all of these. And then action number 4, we'll take this number 3, and we will put this right here. Now, each one I drop down is going to be a different action. I do have 3 more blues in my hand, and they are all 1. So I effectively could go 1, 2, and then use her ability to 3, meaning I would only need 2 more. But that would take up her entire next turn. So that might be something I do. I'm not too sure yet. But we do have another card coming down, which is another... Oh, geez, the mummy's going to attack again. All right. We got 3 going down. Egyptian expert, place Professor Pearson at the cave. And then the mummy moves, and oh god, so this actually means that the mummy's going to go twice. All right, 3 more going down onto the field. It's 1, 2, and 3. There we go. 1 of each color, very nice. The tower gets 1. You're up there. Church gets another yellow, and theater, which is where the Wolfman is, gets that. The professor starts all the way up here in the cave, and he needs to get to the museum. Now remember, he has to take the long way down simply because he can't go through the lagoon, but because he's up there and the Gillman's right here, it's probably not going to be a good thing for him. Speaking of things that are not a good thing, we now have to do another 2 dice attack against the mummy for our archaeologist, and any hit is bad. Nope. Well, that could be worse. So we're going to go over here and we're going to fortify the curse. We're going to flip the lowest scarab face down, and that would be this one. I believe that even if you end up flipping all 6, it's not like a game over or anything like that, but you will again need to use an action in order to flip them face up, and you can't move them unless they are all face up. Good news is that didn't go so bad. Bad news, he's rolling again because of the fact that the mummy goes, and then the frenzy monster goes, which he is a frenzy monster, so he gets 2 attacks. Oh, no, ouch. Okay, well, so our archaeologist kind of bites the dust, so he is off the board. He'll be back soon because it is his turn. Well, now the courier goes next, so he won't be back for, I believe, a little bit. But as you can see, I moved that up 1. We do have to flip this face down, unfortunately. And he comes off the board until the beginning of his next turn, so that means he is not targeted by anything going forward. But that at least does end it. The courier goes now. My goal is generally just to kind of get to the camp and start doing things, but boy, at the same time, I'd like to, I don't have anything else, so we're just going to go 1. Do I pick that up? So I pick it up for 2, 3, 4. No, we're going to leave the theater there. So we'll go 1, 2, 3 all the way up here at the inn, and for his 4th action, he's going to be loaded with items. The good thing is I can do a special action to jump into any other character and give them items if they need it. But I can only do that on his turn. The other thing I am going to do before I do anything else, because he is hunted and the Wolfman will be coming at him, is play Hunter Becomes Prey. It is the hero phase, so I get to do this before I draw any of the other cards. And even though the archaeologist was knocked out, if this was his card, it would still function because you don't lose any perk cards, you don't lose any of your items, and you're still active, you're just not on the board as a target. So, with that said, the Wolfman I am going to move to any space, and I'm going to send him all the way down to the crypts because I don't want to have to deal with him at all, and it's going to take him a little bit in order to get out of there. And now we draw 2. All right, so now what we have here, so we've gotten 1 so far of just like the Wolfman and NPCs, and now we actually have a monster who's not in this game. There are 6, technically 7, because the Frankenstein and the Bride of Frankenstein are one that you have to deal with in the game. If you draw something like this where it says the meeting, you don't have to follow it because they are not in your game. So you're just then putting 2 on the board and then following this left to right, which unfortunately is Gillman, Wolfman, and we don't have the Invisible Man, but those 2 moving are terrible. All right, 2 more items on the board. Quick grab right there. 1 at the docks, 1 at the shop, which is in the middle. Gillman is going to go first, and so I'm closer. Well, no, I'm actually equidistant away. 1, 2, 1, 2, doesn't matter. 1, 2, yeah. So in that situation, the monsters are going to focus on the heroes, I believe. Let me just double check. Yep, moves towards the hero instead of the villager. It was actually really good in this case. So we're going to go 1, 2 right here, and he's only going to roll 1 dice. So I have a good chance of avoiding this, which I do. Yes, the blank, sweet little kid, duck out of the way. Ah, oh man, Gillman, ah. And Wolfman's just going to go 1, 2, because that's his single path up this way. He can't do anything else. Okay. Done. Archaeologist goes. He comes back to the board, and he is now down at the hospital. That is the starting spot for this game whenever a character is knocked out and where they come back to the board. Obviously, in every one of the other Horrified games, there's going to be different areas and different locations that you're at. Be sure to read those instruction manuals about where that particular character goes. Now then, with me being here, I'm going to go 1, pick up for 2, 3, and then I'm going to use his special ability to pick up for 4 in an adjacent spot over here. Now, I have 4 different items, and at least one of them blue, so I can defend myself from Wolfman, and then get into the museum and start figuring out that mummy's curse. Sometimes it's better in order to focus on one monster. Sometimes it's better to kind of spread it around. I think I'm in a unique position right now where I can spread it around. So we'll just kind of go from there. The only problem are all these NPCs. Oh, goodness. Putting 3 on the board, the ichthyologists. You place Dr. Reed at the Institute, and the Gillman goes, and the mummy goes. Okay, so let's do our 3 first. So I got 1, 2... 3 right here, all blues. I love it. Very good, very good. First is the inn. Why can I never remember where some of these? Oh yeah, I'm in the spot with the inn with the courier. Nice. The precinct, right next door, sort of. And the camp. Sweet. Perfect. I like those being over there as I need them. Next, we have Dr. Reed. He goes down over here to the Institute, which is awesome. He needs to get to the camp, which is all the way on the other side of the map. I may use the scientists in order to help out. Another thing you can do, besides just leading, is you can also move with villagers. So if I'm in the same spot with a villager, for 1 action, 1 move action, they can come with me, and any number of villagers can come with me. Other heroes cannot come with me, but villagers can. They also can't teleport. So like with the courier special ability of him going to any other space, a villager cannot go with him if he uses his special ability. Speaking of the courier, let's go ahead and roll our 2 dice here because the Gillman is going to try to take another swing at him, and he does 1 attack. I'm actually going to discard 1 of my reds in order to be able to defend against that attack. And then the mummy gets to move 1 space, so he's just going to move 1 down to the shop right there, which is fine. Keep him out of the way of things. Now we get to go ahead and move on down over here, and let's just take our 3 and like build up for the Wolfman. So we know we got 1 and 1, and I'll use her special ability to put this here because she is able to add 1 strength to any item I use. So I'll plop that right there. That is now a 2. So I would just need a 2 and a 3 for blue in order to be able to, to get the potion and then be able to defeat the Wolfman. And I think for a 4th action, I'm just going to pull him towards me. Just keep Dr. Reed near me, and maybe I can walk him up to the camp at some point, because now she needs to head into Darkmoor and find some items. All right, next card is Retreat. Nothing goes on the field. He runs, oh man, so I guess my courier scared him away. And then the Wolfman goes, the Bride would go, and the mummy would go. Sadly, nothing goes on the field, but he's going to go here. And now the Wolfman and the mummy are going to both do their thing. The problem is that Wolfman's going to come up this way, and he's rolling 3 dice. So I think our archaeologist is going to go down again. Here we go. Ready? And oh my goodness. Oh, yeah. Oh, geez. I would have to get rid of 2 items in order to, all right, I'm going to do it. I need to survive this just for right now. So we get these 2 items. I'm discarding both of those items, and that's going to block that. The mummy, however, he is going to move down to the laboratory, and he is going to now focus on the scientists, because I would say that there is the most people here in this spot. So he is going to focus on wherever he has the most victims in a spot. Rule of terror at this point. Oh, man. Well, bad news is that she's gone. She's off the board. And further bad news, this flips over 1. Man, I am very far ahead with the Wolfman, but I am being pushed back over and over again with the mummy. Oof, and that was her turn too. She's not going to be back for a while. Moving on up to the courier, who's actually in a really good position right now. He's going to try to focus on Gilman. So, oh yeah, by the way, whoop, that goes up 1. So now we're at a level 2. Once it hits 7, we lose. 1, 2, 3. Do I just pick those up and then deal with it next turn? Yes, we're going to do that. So action number 4, I'm going to take both of these. As I start fiddling around the camp, I'll grab Professor Pearson there and then work my way through it there. So I'm going to put these over here for him. I'm going to draw, but I just kind of want to point out that I'm pretty sure that the Wolfman only moves towards those that has the hunted emblem if I draw the card that signifies that. Like, that's not like a forever thing. Like, he'll always be hunting the courier. I think that it's only, I don't see anything in the rule book. Guys, let me know down in the comment section if you can find anything like that or if something was said, but I'm pretty sure any movement that the Wolfman has is still based off of whoever's like closest to him on the board, as opposed to drawing something like this that specifically says moves towards the person with the emblem. So that's what I'm going with. It just makes it even more. See, okay, so perfect right there. Anyway, a great example. Move the Wolfman 3 spaces towards the hero with the hunted emblem. So he's going for it. Anyway, 2 on the board. Gilman goes, and also the mummy. Man, I gotta start doing stuff. I mean, I am doing stuff, but it's just terrifying. Horrifying, if you would. Yeah, 1, 2. I didn't grab 2, right? No. Okay, yeah, there's 2, actually. All right, so laboratory, that's great. That would have been wonderful to actually have last turn. And the museum, even better. Okay, so those are good spots. He's going to go 1, 2, 3, right up there with me, and roll 2 dice. An exclamation point and a hit. Well, I can ignore it the same way, so I'm going to go ahead and just grab this red and this yellow in order to negate both of those hits, because his exclamation point hits everything in the spot. Now we have problems. Gilman's going to go 1 space up here, and he's going to roll and try to attack the professor, and fails. Ooh, wow, professor actually gets away unscathed from the Gilman. That's amazing. And our mummy, who's also the other frenzied monster, is here with the doctor. So we got a professor and a doctor. Yeah, that'd be great if that one was a blank. Nope, that doesn't matter. The mummy has killed Dr. Reed, and so he is out of the game. And this moves up 1. Fantastic. Ugh. Archaeologist's turn. He's going to move down to the museum for 1. For number 2, he's going to pick up both of these yellows. And then for 3 and 4, we're going to go ahead and use 2 yellows, a 3 and a 4 strength. So now we're looking at the numbers on top here. I would play 1 to give me 4 moves on the board, and then the other to give me 3 moves on the board. So obviously the more of these you have, the better. So 7 moves in total. 3 of them are going to be flipping these over. So that's 1, 2, 3. I have 4 moves left. Let's just kind of go 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I'll start trying to move out. I'll have 6 turns on his next round in order to get some more in. Hopefully something else will actually come to the museum after that. I know I still have my other 2 perk cards, but I just haven't found the time to use them yet. On the move, okay, this is interesting. The 3 items go down. We move the frenzy marker to the next monster, and then each villager will move 1 space closer to their safe location, which is very helpful, but at the same time not. because then that next frenzy monster will move 3 spaces and do a 2 dice attack. All right, 3 items going into, and if this ever runs out, you take whatever was in your discard pile and you throw it in here. So everything that I've been discarding is in a separate pile to the side. It is not back here in the bag, because you're always trying to draw the good stuff. Institute for that red item, theater for that red item, and barn for that red item. We don't need red items yet, not until we start killing things. So now the frenzy monster moves on over, so whenever we see that little fire marker, the creature will then start doing his thing. So you'll move over to the camp, hooray. You'll move on up to the tower, and then the frenzy monster, which is the creature, jumps on over and attacks for 2 dice. I do have a lot of items in my hand, but I really don't want to have to use them. Oh, man. All right, well, the good thing is he only hits me for 1, so I'm going to go ahead and... What do I want to dump? I'm going to toss this red item in order to stop that hit, simply because I don't really want to go down at this point. Though I don't think it's really going to matter because I still have another turn before the courier goes. Scientist is put on the board. We're going to put her down at the hospital. Actually, probably what I should do, I'm going to play Taxi Ride. Place a hero in any non-water space. And I'm going to send her all the way up to the inn. So that's before she even does anything. That is her first, well, it's not even an action. Those are all free actions. Action number 1 is to take this. 2, 3, and 4 are to take these. So technically, she does have enough to be able to get the potion. I just need to get back down to the laboratory, which I have monsters and other bad things in my way. Plus, we know these are never good, especially if we put more guys out. Oh, great. All right, well, reincarnation. So this is where we have the soul thing. If no hero has a soul sign, give it to the current player. Move the hero with the soul sign 3 places closer to the... Oh, that's actually really good for me. Oh, okay, I know I like that. And then just the Wolfman goes. He attacks for 2 dice. Okay, and this is another reason why I'm saying I believe these signs, sigils, whatever it is, only trigger whenever you see those particular cards pop up from the monster deck. So we're going to give that to the scientist, and she has to move 3 spaces towards the mummy. With him being down here, that's amazing. 1, 2, 3 puts her closer to him, but also closer to where she needs to be in the laboratory. Unfortunately, I did a quick check to see if I could choose who I want to hit, but nope, no such luck. Oh no! Oh, that's 2 hits. Oh no, there goes all of my progress for that. All right, new plan. We are going to go ahead and toss both of those, so this way my guy does not take any more damage. Yeah, and with that said, we're going to go and move this up here. And for the first action the courier is going to take is he is going to teleport, which is place your hero in any space with another hero. He's going to get out of that camp and come down here to the museum. Now I'm switching gears and saying, let's help each other kind of do things before we do anything else. The courier is going to have his second action of exchanging. He's going to take one of these from the archaeologist, right? Because it was 1. Then we're going to trade, so we'll give 1 to here, and then we'll spend both of these to get 7 in order to be able to move the mummy's curse around. All right, 1, 2, 3. Oh, man, I'm terrible at these. I'm sorry. 4, 5, 6, 7. And then I think I can move that over for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 more, and I would have solved that. Maybe one of the more inefficient ways to do it, but hey, you know, I'm trying my best here. Oh, geez. All right, 2 on the board. Wolfman and Gillman, both of them are in a spot with a villager, so I'm pretty sure he's going down. All right, 2 more items from the bag. Shake that up. Remember, 60 of these in total. Hopefully we get something good. Hopefully they go to the museum. Please go to the museum, the tower, and the graveyard. Nope. Graveyard's right here. Tower's up here by this dude. We don't have Frankenstein or the bride, so nobody else goes. However, the Gillman's going to go first. He's going to attack this guy for 1 and do nothing. It's great, actually. And then the Wolfman's going to go. He's going to attack this guy for 1. And actually hit him for 1. So dead and gone. But now these two are way up here, and I can kind of figure other things out to try to like win, defeat somebody. And as long as the mummy really doesn't go, we're going to be okay. What do I want to do here? I could do the 3. Actually, yeah, I'm going to give that to him for 1. And then we're going to go 2, 3, and I'm going to use his ability to take from an adjacent space 4 to take that. So now I know I have enough in order to be able to defeat the mummy, and there's plenty of red on this side of the board in order to be able to like completely get rid of him. I could do 2 additional actions to put him back in the museum, but I don't think that's worth it right now. Oh, here we go. Okay, so the hunt is on. The hunted emblem, the movement, Wolfman moves 3 spaces towards the hunted emblem. I think he bypasses anybody else that he goes through. Okay, so we got 2 going in, and the Gillman's going to go twice, but he is actually going to be in a spot with the archaeologist. Barn for 1 and docks for 2. All right, so Wolfman's on the hunt. 1, 2, 3. I'm pretty sure he just runs right by him because of the whole, he wants to get to this guy. He's hunting the courier now, smells him and is like, oh, I got to get down there. Gillman is going to go twice, unfortunately. He's going to move once and nothing's going to happen, but then he's going to move a second time right here, right in the same spot as the archaeologist, and do a 2 dice attack, missing. Wow, he was really bad at that, and I am okay with all of that. Perfect, fantastic. Moving on. Oh, this is going to be really tough considering what I need to do, but all right. Scientist goes. Scientist is going to go 1, 2, and then we're going to come on over here and we're going to go 3 and 4. She now has the ability to defeat the Wolfman. She needs to get into the same space as the Wolfman in order to use this as an action in order to defeat him. He is so close. He is so close to me. Oh man, I wish I had, I have a card that gives me 2 additional actions. But what, man, I need her to go. I need her to go, and I don't think that the cure can be passed between anyone, just items. Oh, I don't want her. All right, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna play late into the night, and I'd rather just make sure to keep her away. So I'm just gonna go 1, 2 up here. So this way, maybe these guys won't move that far, and by the time he gets back to her, she can move to the Wolfman spot and use her pistol loaded with a silver bullet in order to take him out. That would be ideal. All right, great. So good news is that nothing really happened. Well, bad news is no new items on the board. Dracula isn't on the board, so it doesn't matter. The only one that goes is the creature, but the creature's in the same spot as the archaeologist. Will he miss again? Nope, he hits him for 1. I don't need that going down anymore, but I do need the yellows regardless. Maybe I just hightail it out of there and try to help out. Okay, yeah. So we'll go ahead. Yeah. We'll spend that in order to block that attack. Now, granted, the creature will probably hit him again, but we'll kind of go from there. Moving on to the courier. I think the first thing he's going to do is he's going to use this in order to gain 3 movement on the board. So we'll go 1, 2, 3. And again, I just need 2 to go 1, 2, and then that'll be solved. And then we can defeat the mummy with red pieces of 9 or more. So then I'll use his second ability to jump to her spot, and then he'll go 1, 2, all the way up here to the barn. I'm going to have him grab those on his next turn. She'll grab these at the theater. He can grab these and then kind of go from there. I think the archaeologist is going to go down, unfortunately. Really, really all depends on what this is, but we're running to the opposite side in order to try to get away from everything. Oh, maybe not. I mean, yeah, probably, but hypnotic gaze. So 2 items go on the board. Move the hero or villager closest to Dracula 3 spaces towards him. That's okay. He's not on the board. Mummy and Gillman go 1 space apiece. See, I'm glad that I moved. I'm so glad I moved. All right. Got 2 going down right here. 2 more from the bag. Whoops, that's the camp, which we will need for the Gillman. Hey, cool. 2 yellows for the Gillman. Sounds good to me. got a charm and tarot deck at the camp for some reason. Our mummy goes up 1 because he only moves 1 space, but nothing else happens. Our Gillman, once again, attacks our archaeologist, and if he hits him at all, which he hits him twice, unfortunately, means that he is once again off the board. Poor guy. So that's down 1 and blop right there. Okay, so now it is the archaeologist's turn again. He does go back to the board to the hospital. We got him right here. He's way too far away to really get anything, and I don't trust him with anything, so I'm just going to go 1, 2, and pick up this shovel right here from the graveyard in order to give him some defense. But I'm going to keep him right here for right now because I don't want to draw any attention from any of the other monsters, especially because I think the scientist should take out the Wolfman next turn. I would also like to point out that hopefully future me editing this video has already put this on the screen at some point, but if you run out of cards in the monster deck, you also lose because you've kind of lost your will to do anything. So as we continue through this, we still got quite a number of turns to go. As we continue through that, if we ever run out of cards, game over, man. Game over. Whoops, come back here. All right. Perfect. We got some people on there. The delivery, 3 go down. Wilbert and Chick go to the shop. And it looks like just the frenzy monster goes. Good. 3 going down should actually give us quite a bit to work with. Going down there. 1, 2, 3. Move that back to the side. All yellows. 1 for the Abbey. 1 for the camp. Man, I got to get up there for sure. And 1 for the inn. Then we have Wilbert and Chick starting at the shop, which is right with the mummy. Oh, no. And they got to get to the dungeon, which is way up that way. Okay, that's not going to be very helpful. However, our frenzied monster is the creature, and creature is right here. A lot of people are kind of over that way. So honestly, for him, the fastest way, 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah, no, he'll go down here because these guys just popped in, so they became a new target. So, all right, so that actually worked out a lot better than I thought it was going to. So that's good. All right, scientist's turn. I know I said I was going to get the Wolfman, but the problem is it's like all the monsters are around there. I don't want to have to deal with it. So what I'm instead going to do is we're going to take you for 1. We're going to go 2. We're going to push you over for 3, and I'll get you up to that dungeon eventually. You know what? No, we're not going to do that. We're going to go 3 over here to the tower and 4 up to the dungeon. So there you go. So now you have officially been rescued. We don't have to worry about you anymore. And we get to draw a new perk card. Yay! Move a hero up to 4 spaces. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. Again, a free action, something easy to do. I could then grab my scientist and send her right after the Wolfman. All right. Now we have the creature retreats to the river. The Wolfman and the creature actually move, but nothing goes on the board. All right, so he'll go here. So that's it. Nothing goes on the board. He sniffs out the archaeologist, so he is going to go down 1. I got to get that archaeologist out of there fast. And you are probably going to go right here, jumping up on the bridge, because a lot of people are up this way as well. So, all right, that's that. The courier does go next. And I think I'm going to do is we're going to go 1, down for 2, pick up for 3, and then immediately jump down to the archaeologist for 4 because he's going to defend him should the Wolfman come down there. Got 4 great items in order to defend myself. I know they're very high valued reds, but for right now, I just kind of want to make sure my guys don't die because I'm only 2 away from a full game over. This is also going down really quickly as well. So 3, the hurried assassin. Fritz goes to the tower and the Gillman moves. All right, 3 more down onto the board. There we go. So we got 3 here. Tower, precinct, and the barn. I'm definitely going to have her pick up all of that stuff. Fritz is actually at the tower as well with Redfield, and he's got to go to the Institute. Redfield's a hospital, and he's the Institute. Do I take the chance and run? It's very possible. I may, because the Gillman is now going to move up 1 here. So he hears everyone up there, and he's like, I'm going to get you. Ha 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 ha. Granted, it's not her turn yet, but at the very least, we'll see what we can do. Archaeologist is now going to go. First thing I think he's going to do is he's just going to take 1 more item from the courier, just so he has a little bit something extra. And then he has 3 more, so he'll go 1, 2, and pull this from the shop, just again to give him 1 more. It's then a matter of going to the camp and using what's up there to either, oh no, this is good and bad at the same time. I'm not quite sure how to deal with this. 0 go on the field. She does have it. Move the hero with the soul sign 3 spaces towards the mummy. She has to leave everything behind. She can't pick anything up, and she can't bring any of the survivors with her because this is a specialty move. So we gotta go 1, 2, 3, literally in the same space as the mummy. However, the only one that goes is the Wolfman, and I'm gonna have the Wolfman go down here to the graveyard to attack the courier. Just because I want to do the theme of him being hunted, and then once the courier runs away, we can leave the Wolfman behind. Wolfman gets a dice of 2. Oh, doing 2 damage to him. Ouch! Yeah, no, we're not sacrificing anything. We're gonna go ahead and use both of those, and the courier survives that attack by the Wolfman. Oh, I didn't want that to happen. Oh man. Actually, what we're gonna do is we're gonna get rid of that Wolfman right now because it is the scientist's turn. And she's going to go 1, 2, 3, and in 1 fell swoop, pull out her pistol and the vial, throw it at him. Get him all, he's vulnerable. And then bang into the heart of the Wolfman with the silver bullet. We actually managed to beat a monster. Hooray! All of these go into my discard pile for later. This flips over. And now we only have 2 more monsters to deal with. And as I said, I'm playing with the rule where if you defeat a monster, the horror level or terror level drops down 1, simply because you have made the town a little bit safer. Wolfman is off the board. Only 2 more monsters to go. The innocent Maria, she goes to the barn. 3 go on. And the Gillman, oh, the Gillman's going to have fun. All right, we got a lot of victims up there, and the Gillman is just going to go insane with it all. The Institute gets a blue, the Institute gets another blue, and the church gets a yellow, which is fantastic, as that's all I need for the mummy. She goes up here in the barn. She's got to get to the camp, which isn't that far away. However, our Gillman goes into here with these guys, and we'll say Redfield. We'll just go with that. They're both in the same spot anyway. Oh, yeah. This is why I'm so glad that I was able to move the horror gauge down, or terror gauge down 1. I keep saying horror gauge. That's Final Girl. This is terror gauge. It doesn't matter. We are having a very stressful time with this anyway. All right. Courier. I think he should probably... We're going to do 1 action to jump up here for the same spot as the archaeologist. And then 2, 3, 4 down here. He's going to pick up these items and then kind of work his way around and then work himself back up to the camp to pick up items and then try to find out, the scoop about where the Gillman lives. The scientist, I'd like to push up that way as well, just to give him an anchor about where to go. Gillman's probably going to kill all those guys. So at least we know the Wolfman isn't going to go, and 2 items are going to go on the field. Gillman is also only going to roll 1 dice, but that should be enough to defeat Fritz if happens. We got the graveyard and the mansion. And then we got 1 dice over here to fight Fritz. Nope, he's dead. He's dead. He go dead. Goodbye. Oh no. Oh no, we're 1 away. Oh no, and the little girl is right there as well. So Gillman might be after her. Oh no. Well, at least I know it's the archaeologist's turn. And he'll be able to solve the mummy's curse. Action number 1 takes this from an adjacent spot. Action number 2 goes into here. Action number 3 uses the yellow piece to go 1, 2. The curse, the curse. He has figured it out. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to play my rush card right now. Move a hero up to 4 spaces. He still has 1 action left So he's going to go 1, 2, and in the same spot as the mummy, needing a total of 9 or more red, we have a bear trap, sure, a pitchfork, of course, and a shovel. Now, it's going to be more than that because of the way it adds, but regardless of anything, we have defeated the mummy. Yeah, bone bag, explode in the dust. Just called me Brendan Fraser. With that, we have defeated 2 out of 3 with one thing left to, only one space away from our frenzy marker, our terror marker going up high. And we haven't really even done anything with the Gillman. So, okay, so we'll see what we can do here now. Okay. All right. Wow, we actually worked out pretty well there with the Gillman. So he is going to be the friendly monster regardless of anything. So he's down at the waterfront. And now he gets one movement down here. Unfortunately, this may be where it ends. He gets to roll 3 dice against the courier. And if he rolls 2 hits, game over. Game over. 1, 2, 3. No, he didn't roll 2 hits. In fact, he completely missed. Because I haven't moved the boat a single spot yet, so it doesn't matter how far back it goes. We are still at docking point. Oh my goodness, that was so lucky. The only downfall is, it's not his turn. Well, actually, this can go away as well, because we don't have the mummy. This can go away because of the Wolfman not being there. Because it's not his turn, he could very well get hit again. I'm going to hope that that doesn't happen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to 1, 2, 3, 4. This way it gives the courier an anchor point in order to pick up some stuff, jump over here, and then get to the camp as soon as possible. Unless, of course, the Gillman kills him. Oh no. Well, it's only a 2 dice. Okay, it's only a 2 dice. Frenzy marker doesn't move. That doesn't matter. Maria moves 1 space, and the frenzy monster, which is still the Gillman, now has a 2 dice attack. All right, so we got 3 more items going down on the field right here. The tower. Wow, that tower is just loaded with all kinds of great stuff. There's a 5th one for the tower. Geez. And the church. Okay. Maria's going to move 1 space because she needs to get to the camp. I could get her there eventually, but I think we're all right for right now. And as long as I don't roll 2 hits, we're okay. We're okay. Oh my goodness. Wow, this Gillman stinks at what he does. He's been missing left and right. All right, here we go. Let's start trying to figure out where this aquatic menace lives. Action number 1, picking up all 3 of these. Action number 2, bouncing up over here. Action number 3 goes right here. Action number 4 picks up all of these. Now remember, I can trade between everybody, so the scientists can get into here and they can trade items and kind of work out where the lair is that way. And it's all about the color of them, so it shouldn't be so hard. I have not that much left. Oh my goodness. All right, 2 on the board. Form of the bat. If Dracula was here, it's fine. Nothing happens. We don't have any of those on the board. That's the thing with every Horrified game. It's really difficult in the beginning because you have all of the monsters kind of running around, running amok and a menace. Wow, 3 at the mansion. But as you start defeating them, it just gets a lot easier to manage because you're just there doing your thing. Archaeologists. 1, 2. He's going to grab all of these from the tower because he can grab them from an adjacent space. 4. 1, 2, grab for 3, and 4. Okay, yeah, so we're getting ourselves up there as fast as we can to get what we got to get to. And if everybody's in the camp, they can all trade together, and that would be fantastic. We just got to make sure to get the Gillman up there as well. 3 more items. Melva appears at the camp. There are not that many items in here, and there are not that many NPCs that got to jump out into the field either. Ooh, camp. That's sweet. Got a, what is that? Wolfbane? Sure. Shop. Got a silver cane right here. We already took care of this guy. There we go. And the laboratory. Fantastic. And then also our Gillman moves 1. He's going to move here because the fastest way for him to get up is through the river. So he's going to go right there. Oh, right. And then she's at the camp, but she's not going anywhere. Moving right along. Scientists. Let's go ahead and for 1, bring her to us. And for 2, go up here and save little Maria now that she's at the camp. Because at this point, any additional perk will be helpful. A hero may give any number of items to one other hero no matter where they are. That is amazing. Okay, that's actually going to be very helpful. All right, so let's look at this right now. She moved for 1. I still have 3 actions left. My first action is going to be a trade, so I'm going to take 2 items from the courier to determine what I need. I would say blue and yellow would get us furthest along. So we'll do that. We'll just trade 1 blue and 1 yellow over to the scientist, and then action 3 and 4 would move the boat up to the furthest blue spot, or the next blue spot, I should say, and then a yellow would move it down to the next yellow spot. I would want then yellow, red, yellow, red, blue, if I even have that. If I even have the time as well. All right, thief. This is with the invisible man. The invisible man isn't there. The gill man is going to move 1, and 2 things are going to go on the board. All right, 2 more items go down. 1 at the docks, 1 at the institute, and the gill man moves 1. He's coming up, guys. He's coming up on us. All right, courier goes. What do I need? I have all the colors. Action number 1 is going to be yellow, so we'll move that there. Action number 2 is going to be red, so I'll take that and move that up here. Action number 3 is going to be yellow, so we'll move that over there. Action number 4 is going to be red, so all we need is a blue, and then be in the same space as him as with one of all 3 colors. So this is just becoming very possible right now, considering there's also a yellow in the camp. Nothing. Literally nothing happens at all. All right, moving on down to the archaeologist. Action number 1, action number 2, action number 3, action number 4. He's taking all of these from around, and he can use the special delivery of just giving them out however he wants. It's a rush. It's a rush right now in order to be able to do this before the gill man gets closer. Oh my goodness, he's coming up the river. Last 2 items in the bag, actually. 1 at the tower and 1 at the institute. So then I'll just refill this with everything that I've discarded. And then the gill man swims himself upriver. He dove in and he's coming. Unfortunately, we can't get to this spot. We have to wait for him to come out of the water in order to fight him. However, hopefully we'll be in a good spot where we can do exactly that. All right, so it is the scientist's turn. I think what I'm going to do is we're just going to kind of like move down here for 1. You know, I'm going to take this for 1. I'm going to take this mop for 1, so that's hers. She's going to move down here for 2. And we're just going to kind of give a quick trade here. So she's going to take that. What do you have? You have yellows and reds, so I'm going to give her another blue as well. Yeah, so that's what we're going to do, because I think one of these 2 are going to be able to take on the gill man, and she also needs stuff to defend herself. So I'm actually going to take 1 more red as well. So she has some stuff to defend herself with, as well as he does for an attack. And that's it. That's all I'm going to do for her turn. Oh, goodness gracious. Elizabeth goes to the manor, and here comes Gilly. Mansion. I think I said manor. Mansion. Whatever. So I reshuffle all that into there. 1, 2, 3, right here. The Institute. I'm just, again, looking for color. Color is all that matters, but nothing is close to me. And here he comes, jumping out, trying to scare us. I'm going to have him go after the scientist first, because I can choose whoever it is. Oh, actually, no, that's not the worst. First things first, I'm going to go ahead and take this blue bop and drop that, defend that hit. Then, because we had rocked the boat, we're on that red, we're actually just going to move back to that yellow there, which is still fine. That's still okay. We still have the ability to beat him next turn. Him moving up was actually probably the biggest mistake he could make. So, first thing we're going to do is we're going to take this this blue Rotenun? Is that what that is? Rotenun? I have no idea what this is referencing to. I'm sure somebody else out there will. But we have discovered where the lair of the beast is. I realize I never pushed this down for defeating the mummy, or maybe I did, I don't know. But if I hadn't done that, we would have lost the game, by the way. Just FYI, if I didn't push it down before the Wolfman. But I'm going to say I forgot to do it with the mummy. It doesn't matter because we're going to action number 2. It's right here. Action number 3. We're going to go ahead and take 1, 2, and a 3. And action number 4, we will take all 4 of these and drive the creature away. In the creature space, which is where I am, 1 yellow, 1 red, 1 blue. It doesn't matter what it is. The creature has been driven away. We have found them. And my friends, we have defended the town of Darkmoor. And he just swims away off the screen. There you have it, everybody. I'm going to move that down again because I can. There you have it, everybody. Horrified Universal Monsters. Other characters that you can find in this are the Invisible Man, Dracula, and Frankenstein and the Bride. Frankenstein and the Bride start at 2 different ends. If they meet at any point on the map, then the Terrified gauge goes up and then they get bounced back. Dracula, you have to find all of his different coffins, smash them, and then go to him and defeat him using yellow items, not red ones. And the Invisible Man, you got to collect different pieces of evidence. He has a precinct overlay for him. You collect all these different pieces of evidence from other areas, which pretty much find an X value for one of these tokens, put it on there. Once you have them all, you'll locate him and you beat him up and everything. So that's really how the rest of them work. Guys, let me know what you thought of Horrified Universal Monsters down in the comment section below. Which one of the Universal Monsters is your favorite? I've always been a fan of the Gillman, and I really wish he got more attention and more movies in his name, or at least more things to that. He had a really cool spot in the Monsters Unleashed at Epic Universal, which I have been to this past year. Would love to see it again. And I hear rumors that maybe there might be an actual boat ride that's based off of Creature of the Black Lagoon. If that is the case, I must see that. I have to go see it because I think it's such a cool concept to have this type of creature and like original aquatic cryptid kind of coming up out of nowhere and wreaking havoc. Speaking of cryptids, in the next episode of Horrified, we head to the Americas, where we go through the American Monster expansion. Not expansion, I should say. They're all standalone games. It wasn't until World of Monsters that they started having backwards compatibility, which is the 4th one. Right now we're going into number 2, American Monsters, as one of my favorite. I actually really like that one because I love the concept of cryptids, cryptozoology, hidden creatures throughout the world, and they pick some pretty interesting ones for that game, which I can't wait to show you and talk about next time. So in order not to miss the next terrifying, horrified adventure in wherever we are, I think it's small town USA, or any other fun thing I put out for you to enjoy, be sure you're subscribed to the Home Gamer Dad to help the channel grow. And if you wish to support the channel even further, there are a ton of links down in the description section below, mostly finding ways to maybe pick up your own versions of Horrified. I have Amazon affiliate links down there, Noble Knight Games. As always, thank you both of them so much for helping the sponsor of the channel. Using those links go a long way to help it grow. Trust me on that. But otherwise, as always, your view, your like, sharing this video, commenting down below go a long way as well. I want to hear your thoughts. I want to hear your comments, and I want to hear your experiences within this as well. Again, calling this Darkmoor, 99% sure that that's what it is. And even if it's not, I don't care. I think it's awesome. I can't believe we did it. That's amazing. We all landed up on the same space already. What a fun time. Thank you all again. Take care of yourselves and each other. We are family forever, gaming together. Until our next horrified adventure, you guys take care. And I'll catch you all later.